Imagine you need to move something extremely heavy. You have no truck, no engine, no forklift, no paved road, and 4 people aren't strong enough to carry it. So you drag it. It barely moves. You push harder. Nothing. Then someone has an idea. They place a large log underneath the load. The heavy object suddenly moves forward. But there's a problem. The log rolls away. So another log has to be placed underneath. Then another, and another. It works, but it's incredibly inefficient. And this is where the story of the wheel gets interesting. Because humans didn't invent the wheel simply because they discovered that circles roll. They had already known that for a very long time. The real challenge was figuring out how to control the rolling. Imagine an ancient worker standing beside a massive wooden load. He looks at the logs underneath it. Then he looks at the distance the load has to travel. He realizes something. If the rolling object could stay connected to the load, the entire system would become much easier to control. And eventually, humans began experimenting with round wooden pieces. At first, the idea was simple. A thick wooden disc. Put it underneath something. Push. It rolls. But now comes another problem. A solid wheel is heavy, and if you need to move it around, that's a lot of unnecessary weight. So humans started changing the design. They made the wheel thinner. Then they realized something even more important. The wheel didn't need to support the entire weight everywhere. It only needed strong connections between the center and the outer edge, and that's where the spokes changed everything. Suddenly, the wheel could be lighter while still being strong enough to carry a load. But there was another problem. How do you connect the wheel to the object you're moving? You need an axle. And now the invention becomes something much bigger. Wheel, axle, load. Together, they create a completely new machine. Instead of dragging an object across the ground, you can roll it. And rolling dramatically reduces the effort needed to move heavy things across relatively smooth surfaces. But here's something people often get wrong. The wheel wasn't immediately used for everything. Early wheels were not simply invented so ancient humans could build cars. One of the earliest major uses of the wheel was transport and carts, while the wheel also became incredibly important for crafts such as pottery. And once humans had the wheel, the possibilities started multiplying. A cart could carry heavier loads, goods could travel farther, materials could be transported more efficiently, potters could shape clay faster and more consistently. And suddenly, a simple circular object was changing how people worked. But here's the really fascinating part. The wheel wasn't just one invention. It was a chain of problems being solved. How do we move heavy things? Rolling. How do we keep the rolling object attached? Axle. How do we make the wheel lighter? Spokes. How do we make it stronger? Better materials and construction. Every improvement created another possibility. And this tells us something important about ancient humans. They didn't invent technology because they were trying to build the modern world. They were trying to solve incredibly ordinary problems. Moving something, carrying something, making something, saving effort. And sometimes, one simple solution created an entirely new world of possibilities. Think about that the next time you see a wheel. It looks almost too simple to be impressive, just a circle. But behind that circle is one of the most important ideas humans ever developed. Don't fight friction when you can make something roll. The wheel didn't make humans stronger. It made their strength more useful. And that's why the wheel changed human history. Not because a circle was revolutionary, but because ancient humans figured out how to turn that circle into a machine. And once they did, the world started moving. And maybe the strangest part is this. The wheel didn't just make moving things easier. It changed what humans could build. It changed how far they could travel. And eventually, it helped create machines that would reshape the entire world. What started as a simple idea, make something roll instead of drag, became one of the most important inventions in human history. And the people who first figured it out had no idea just how far that little circle would take us. If you enjoyed this journey into the origins of human invention, subscribe to Monkey to Modern for more stories about how our ancestors solved problems, invented new tools, and slowly built the world we live in today. And I'll see you in the next one.